Hi everyone, welcome back to Almost Normal. About a month ago, I came home from my winter holidays. I went back to London and I spent like a month there looking after my mom who wasn't feeling so well and just helping around the house and like getting Christmassy stuff together. But in the end, I ended up being there for much longer than I expected. And when I go back home, I sort of regress into a child. Like, I don't really do the adulty things that I do when I'm in Los Angeles that make me feel good. I sort of act as if it's a vacation from everything, not just school, but I also treat it as a vacation from doing the things that make my body feel good. But for some reason, I think like on vacation, I don't have to do those things anymore. And somehow I'm gonna like have a better time. So that includes like eating properly, doing any form of exercise, going to AA meetings, calling friends, checking in on people, meditation, all of that stuff. Like when I go away, I give myself a break from all of it, which doesn't make any sense because I'm a much happier person when I am doing all of those things. Maybe I'm off of school, but I should not be off of like the things that are making my well-being better, So anyway, I spent a month in London and I was definitely giving myself a little vacay from like basically looking after myself. I ate terribly, which is fine, like whatever, it's the holidays and all that. I hardly did any exercise, like even walking around, I didn't do much of, to be honest. Even though I was in London, I don't even know how that worked. I was just like very much like at home, like trying to stay warm and like eating mince pies. That was pretty much like my whole trip back to London. I wasn't doing anything to make my mental health better, and I felt myself going crazy. Like I could feel myself becoming irritable and discontent and just like angry. And I kind of put that down to the fact that like I wasn't really doing much. I was like, I think I mentioned in another podcast episode being like, I find it really hard to relax. Like I think I find it hard when I don't have school or I'm not doing my podcast and I don't really have like work to do. Like I get really like crispy and just like not the best version of myself, let's just say. But on further analysis of my trip, I think that if I had been sticking to any of my schedules, like my eating schedules, my exercise schedules, my AA meeting schedules, like I think that even though I wasn't at school, if I had been continuing with all my other little routines that I do throughout my life, I think I would have been much happier. But it's the fact that I thought that going away meant I can just have a vacation from wellness stuff included, which makes absolutely no sense. But anyway, I just like went through this whole thing basically blaming my attitude and stuff on the fact that I like just wasn't at school or I just like wasn't busy. But honestly, like all that wellness stuff keeps me so busy, and so just like letting all of it go at the same time was just like such a bad idea. Anyway, when I got home and I sort of like really thought about it, I decided to make some changes. I decided to really, really focus on how I'm feeling, everything external that I'm able to control. And one of those things that I decided to change was my diet, okay? I decided to make a conscious effort to take in a lot of protein, like going on a basically high protein, very low carb diet. And I did this because I felt like I just wanted to be strong again. I felt like I just wanted to have muscle. I felt like I wanted to just be able to hold myself up properly when I'm like walking down the street and not just sort of slump over and just feel like weak, which I had been. I wanted to see if changing my diet around could affect my mental health, could make me feel better. My anxiety is going through the roof. What's going on? Like, I'm on my medications. What else can I change? And there's like a lot of stuff that goes along with making myself feel mentally better. But diet is something that I really, really have not ever focused on when it comes to my mental health. I really only considered diet to be something that would affect your body, your physical body, but like I didn't really, for some reason, connect it with how I would like mentally be feeling. My main thing was that I just wanted to feel strong. I just wanted to feel like I can defend myself if need be, and just feel like I'm walking a little bit higher when I'm walking down the street, and not feel like the wind can just blow me away. So I decided to start this high protein diet, and now I've been on it for about a month and I'm feeling really, really great. One thing I've noticed is, apart from the obvious stuff where I feel like I do feel stronger, I feel more like my muscles have something to feed themselves with, and not just like mince pies and like sugar and carbs, which is what I basically was doing like a month prior. But apart from stuff like that, like I feel mentally so much better. I can't quite describe it. Like I notice that I'll go and do stuff that freak me out usually, and I'll just go do it without even second guessing anything, without even having a second thought about it. And I'll leave the thing that I just did, which would usually freak me out. And I would only realize that I didn't freak out in that moment once I'm leaving. And it's been totally eye-opening for me, totally like a new world, honestly. Like I'm able to go and talk to strangers at the supermarket if I need to ask the butcher for something. Like I'm not the most confident person when it comes to things like that. I get very, very nervous. I have a very, very strange, maybe irrational, maybe not 100% irrational fear of men that I don't know. Like even if I need them, like the butcher or something, I'm like, ooh, I don't really want to like talk to them. It gives me anxiety, basically. I've been doing so much better at that. In the past month, I've been doing so much better. I've also been going to a lot of Pilates classes just to like, you know, use this protein and like make some actual muscle. For the first like couple weeks, I was like really, really going hard at protein intake, and then I just like wasn't doing any exercise, and I was like, I don't really know if this is like beneficial in any way. But anyway, another thing that I used to be so nervous about was going to Pilates classes by myself. I think a lot of that is because I have very strong OCD, and a lot of my OCD focuses on like very sexual triggers and stuff like that. Another reason why I probably don't feel comfortable talking to men that I don't know or don't feel comfortable around. But another thing that kind of triggers my OCD is like going to Pilates, just because it's like you are put in sort of different positions that maybe I don't usually feel like the safest in. I don't feel like I can like protect myself in certain positions, even though I'm like in a very safe Pilates classroom with a bunch of like very safe people. But typically like that kind of thing would make me have a mental breakdown unless I kind of went with someone I really, really knew. And even then after class, I'd have to be like, did something happen? Like, well, that was all safe, right? That was all good. And like, for the past couple weeks, I have just been going alone and like feeling amazing, feeling like part of the community, feeling much friendlier to everyone, honestly, because I'm so nervous around people I don't know, especially men, I feel like I'm a little bit like pointy, a little bit crispy with people. And recently I've found that if I feel a little bit nervous around someone, like the other class I had a man take the Pilates, whatever you call it, reformer next to me, and I could feel my anxiety bubbling up a little bit because I was like I don't really want to be like doing Pilates next to a man. It makes me very nervous. I don't know why. But instead of like that freaking me out in that moment, I like made conversation with him, and I sort of just like broke down that facade that I like created for this person. Basically, if I like see a strange man coming up to me or in a Pilates class with me or at the supermarket or anything, like I'll create this narrative for them which will make me so afraid of them, and then I'll like run away. And now I'm sort of forcing myself to, instead of doing that, just like starting a conversation with them and sort of replacing my made up facade of who this person could be and replacing it with like who they actually are, which is like typically a friendly person, you know, like whatever. Now, I'm not saying I just like talk to random men on the street. That is absolutely not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying like in my day-to-day life, like where my OCD about men I don't know has held me back, like Pilates classes, I wouldn't go, or asking for help at the supermarket, I wouldn't do that. Now I feel a little bit more comfortable, and that could be the product of many, many different things, but I really think that this sort of like high protein intake, having some sort of routine, some sort of schedule in my life has really affected my mental health in a very, very positive way. and it's very interesting, and I'm kind of loving it, and it's making me feel good. Like, maybe because I physically feel stronger, I feel just more like confident in life, but I can tell you that I've lived so long just being like totally afraid of everyone around me, of strangers, just having like total like stranger danger alarm bells going off in my head all the time. And for some reason, and I can't 100% connect it to a high protein diet, but I can definitely say that in the past month, like, I have been feeling so much more sure of myself, so much more grounded, much less like, you know, fight or flight all the time. I don't know if there's any research that goes into that. That is just what I've been experiencing. It's been very, very interesting, very eye-opening, and I honestly have been very happy in the past month. I've been feeling really, really great. I don't know. The reason I didn't talk about this, the reason I didn't talk about the fact that I was like starting a different sort of like way of eating, a different eating habit, a different exercise routine, whatever, is because I have found, I follow a lot of YouTubers. I watch a lot of YouTube. I have loads of YouTubers that I am in love with, you know. They are my friends. We hang out together. I listen to them while I'm driving to school every day. Like, you know, we have a relationship. And I've noticed that a few of them in the past year, let's say, have decided to make some changes about their diet, about how they look, about how they feel, about their health, all of that stuff. And someone's decision to want to be healthier, to want to feel good, even if they want to change the way their body looks, I think that is totally fine. Whether they want to gain weight or lose weight or whatever, like, in my eyes, they should be able to do whatever the fuck they want. Yeah? But I have noticed multiple times that I'll go onto the comments section, which I should never do, but like, when it's not about me, I just sort of read the comments because I feel like there's going to be positive ones, and there are. But I have noticed a lot of the YouTubers I watch, when they have decided to make a change about anything in their life, there is so much judgment and criticism, and especially to the YouTubers who are maybe a little bit bigger, a little curvier, and some of them have decided to lose weight for whatever reason, like, they do not need to explain themselves. They do not need to explain themselves as to why they wish to change, how they look, how they feel, their health, anything, you know? And I've noticed a bunch of them having to make whole separate videos to tell the subscribers that they're sorry, and they've made videos basically just like trying to really, really explain to the subscribers why they wished to do this. Health reasons, physical, like whatever it is. I've even seen people comment saying like, how can you be body positive if you're deciding to lose weight? Like, that's crazy. Like, unfollowed. You're no longer my like body positive influencer, like, goodbye. This is the most insane thing ever, okay? And I'm gonna tell you why. Body positivity has nothing to do with what you look like. That is actually, in fact, the whole point of body positivity. Body positivity is about accepting everyone for who they are, what they look like, and every decision that they make for themselves. That is what body positivity is. Body positivity has nothing to do with what you look like. Nothing. So if a bigger influencer who's all about body positivity decides to lose some weight, they are no longer a body positive influencer. They still are. In fact, they are even more. They're making changes. You know, they're taking autonomy over their own bodies. They're making the changes they want. I mean, it's totally insane that people would say, oh, you want to look different? Okay, like, unfollowed, you are no longer a body positive queen anymore because you want to lose weight? Like, what the fuck is that? This is madness. Body positivity is about letting people do whatever the fuck they want with no judgment, okay? It's about not having rules and regulations on women's bodies, okay? That is what body positivity is, okay? It's about women allowing other women to do whatever they feel, not giving into societal expectations, not judging anyone for any kind of change that they feel like they want to make. So when I decided to make a change in my diet, this is something I would have spoken to you guys about. But seeing how others were getting judged because of lifestyle changes they want to make kind of freaked me out and made me not want to talk about it. And then I realized, hold on, if I'm not talking about it, I'm totally part of the fucking problem, you know? Like, if I wanted to change my diet because I wanted to lose weight, so be it. It's my body, I can do whatever I want, you know? Personally, I want to be strong. I want to feel like I'm like a, you know, a big, strong person. That's sort of that's my dream, my goal, what I'm working towards right now. But if I just wanted to change my diet to lose some weight, that's totally fucking fine. And I can still be a body positive person if that is what I wish to do. I think that people have just taken body positivity and turned it upside down into something completely different. We are just simply not meant to judge others for their decisions. That is body positivity. Judging women for being too skinny is not body positivity. Judging bigger women for wanting to lose weight, that's not body positivity. Judging littler women when they want to gain weight is not body positivity. Just like, please remind yourself of that. Why are we judging each other, you know? Why are we making each other feel bad for being autonomous over our bodies? Like, that's the goal. That's what we're all fighting for, is to be able to do whatever we want and to not face criticism and judgment, especially from other women. Like, how crazy is it that someone wants to make a change in their own life and then we judge them in the name of body positivity because they wish to make a change? That makes no sense in my head. That makes absolutely no sense in my head. Like, we have to turn the lights back on. We have to go back in time and realize what body positivity is all about. Now, I think that we think that body positive people shouldn't have the sort of socially accepted generic body type. Okay, I think that's what a lot of people feel. And I think the reason we feel that is because back in, you know, the day, there was always a specific type of body that society expected people to have. In one era of time, having a bigger body was the most desirable. In another period of time, having a smaller body was the most desirable. But like, it was always society telling us what we should and shouldn't look like, you know? And I think that in the most recent era, women have been expected to have this certain body type, which is smaller, slimmer, but like bigger boobs and a bigger butt, you know? And society's kind of telling us like, oh, we all should be like that. I think what happened is when women decided to love their bodies, no matter what shape and size, a lot of those women going against the grain were the ones that were gaining the weight. Because being skinny, you know, the models and all of that, like being skinny was what society wanted of people. So we kind of got confused. And we kind of started to think that the women that were gaining weight and being and accepting their bodies as they were the ones that were body positive. But just because like you happen to have the type of body that society expects of you, like, doesn't mean that you're any less body positive than anyone else. Body positivity is about how you react to others. It's about how you feel like you have control over other people's bodies. Like, you have an opinion over what people can do with their bodies. And the fucking newsflash is that you do not. You do not. You have zero control over what anyone else does, okay? I would put body positivity into the realm of like pro-choice and pro-life too. Pro-lifers are not body positive people because they are so focused on controlling women's bodies. They are so focused on the fact that they wish that they could control what women do with their bodies so much that they force women to have kids when they don't wish to. That is not body positive. Body positivity is a mind fucking set. You know, you can be body positive no matter how you look. You can look whatever way you wish and you can still be body positive, okay? Like, please, we have to just like remember that. We work so hard to get to where we are. We still struggle. We still face judgment and criticism. Let's not judge and criticize each other for wanting to make any kind of change that we wish. I just don't think it's right. And it's not what body positivity is. There are parts of feminism that have been turned upside down in not the best way. And I would say that judging women for wanting to lose weight or gain weight or have a kid or not have a kid or any of that is not what feminism was started as. I don't think that the suffragette marched for our rights in order for us to just continue to criticize and judge each other for whatever reason. It's not what they fought for. Like, I can tell you that with absolute certainty. They did not march down the streets in order for us to say, hey, by the way, also, if anyone wants to lose weight, Like, we don't accept them. If anyone decides that they want to lose weight, like, no. If anyone decides that they don't want to have a kid, no. That's not what we're fighting for. You know, we're fighting for women's rights, but only a very specific type of women's rights. That is not what the point was, you know? They were fighting for the rights of women of every kind, no matter what choices they make. And I think in our society now, we're getting these ideas where it's only a certain type of person, it's only a certain type of woman, it's only a certain type of woman that'll be praised. This just isn't correct. And I just wanted to speak on this because I noticed myself becoming, within the last month, part of this issue, where I was like, I don't want to talk about the changes that I've decided to autonomously make over my own body, because I don't want to face the judgment. Why are we judging anyone? Stop it. Just like relax, please. I mean, body positivity is all about accepting any changes anyone wants to make on their own bodies. Having no criticism, no judgment towards it. Just accepting them for who they are, for what they want to do. To me, body positivity is letting women live and do whatever the fuck they want and not feeling like you can judge them. Not feeling like you have the right to judge anyone for their decisions, no matter what it is, no matter if it's physically how they decide to look, whether it's what they do abortion-wise, whether it's how they dress. Like, literally, body positivity is saying, you're hot, you're sexy, I love you, great decision, wonderful, I support it, when it comes to their own bodies. Body positivity is not judging a woman who decided to lose weight and say, oh, you're not a body positive person anymore. That is completely going against what body positivity is all about. We're, again, judging women for what they wish to do with their bodies. And there's also such a double standard for men and women. Like, why is this all put on women? I don't get it. I don't believe David Dobrik when he released his body transformation. Like, I don't think anyone was like, I don't think that you're a body positive person. I don't think anyone was calling him a body positive influencer to start with. But I think if he was, I don't think anyone would be saying, hey, I don't think you're very body positive anymore because you just completely transformed your look. You got all muscly and generic looking. I don't think anyone would have said that to him. They would have been like, oh shit, that took time and dedication and fucking work. Congratulations. I think that's what people will probably say. If a man gains weight, I don't think I've ever read a comment being like, oh God, you've let yourself go. You know, I don't think I've ever read that about a man. But as a woman, my weight fluctuates. I go up and down all the time. I know the comments that I get. And I think as a woman who's ever received any sort of judgment should just think and understand how that made them feel and not do it to anyone else, no matter what it is, you know? I just read a bunch of comments yesterday, this woman who's very, very skinny. Okay, it might not be your cup of tea. But if it's not, just scroll on and watch something else, you know? I think just having this strong desire to put women down for the decisions that they make on their own bodies is it's just so naff and just move on. And it's this sort of entitlement that we feel we have, that we can tell women that we don't agree with their choices. But what makes us feel we are allowed to do that? You know, is your life perfect? Do you do everything completely right? Probably not. So anyway, you can change your body no matter how you wish to change it. You can change your body. You can change your body no matter what you wish to change about it. You can change your body and still be body positive. Just like you can be pro-choice, but personally decide not to have an abortion yourself. Okay, let that sink in. Just because a woman's making a decision doesn't mean you have to do it. But you can be a supportive woman and not judge and criticize, you know? What women are doing to their bodies has no effect on you. It's not going to change you. It's not going to affect you in any way. But you can just be there as a support system for other women when we struggle so much to achieve and get past certain societal expectations. We can reflect on how all of these things have made us feel and try and use that when we react to other people and not have this very, very entitled view that we are able to just say what we want to people when we have no idea about their lives, you know? I think it's also like we see a lot of people on YouTube and TikTok and stuff, and we feel like we know them, you know, and then they decide to make a change and like it freaks us out for some reason, but it shouldn't. Like, it has no effect on you as a person. If it really makes you uncomfortable, unfollow, unsubscribe, you know? If it's triggering something, I totally get that. Like, there are things that trigger me all the time, but I just try and like turn away from them. I try and like figure out another way to handle it and not just go full attack because like we're trying to deal with something in ourselves. Yeah. Just because you support something does not mean that you have to do it as well. If a woman decides to gain weight, but you don't wish to, you can still support them and be a supporting peer, be a supporting woman. It doesn't mean you have to do it. It just means you can be kind and back their decision and make them feel good because they are a person. They are their own person. They have thought, they have lived in their body, and they have decided to do something different. That doesn't affect you at all. You can support women's rights to birth control. But if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. Don't worry. You don't have to be gay to support gay rights. If someone decides to do something with their bodies, you don't also have to do it with them. I feel like this is obvious, but I'm like seeing a lot of confliction on the internet at the moment, and just like recently seeing a couple of like some of my favorite YouTubers just getting blasted for deciding to like make certain changes about their lives has been very like confusing, but also eye-opening to me, to the fact that being body positive has been completely confused, I think. Somehow being body positive means that you can't look how society expects you to look. But just because you look the way society expects you to look doesn't mean that you're not supporting others. And I'm gonna say the same thing I said in the beginning of the video. Body positivity has nothing to do with what you look like. Body positivity has zero to do with what you personally look like. Body positivity is the way you react to other people. It is the way you can support other people. It's a mindset. It's to remember that everyone should be autonomous over their own bodies. You can look however you wish to look and still support other women's decisions to look the way they wish to look. And that's it. That's kind of my piece, to be honest. I decided to make changes in my life, which will affect the way I look. For whatever reason, I decided, you know? Like, I even feel like in this video I over-explained myself, you know? Body positivity is making any change you wish and just like not feeling like you have to explain yourself, you know? Otherwise you'll get judged. You don't have to explain yourself. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's your fucking life. It's your fucking body. Okay? You're smart. You're making your decisions. If you're making a mistake, you'll figure it out, you know? Like, just do as you wish. Come so far, let's not regress. Let's not regress without the government or anything even like telling us to regress. Like, at this point, we're judging other women purely because we feel like we want to, we should, not sure. Like, there's no law saying like, oh, if a woman decides to change her body, you know, you have to comment and say that you don't agree with her decision. Like, there's no law saying that. So now it's kind of us regressing back into how we used to be without even anyone telling us to do it. We're just doing it. And I'm sure there's a lot of small things that have pushed us into thinking that this is the right way, but it's not. Anyway, I really love you guys, okay? This was not meant to be a scolding, but it was definitely just meant to be, don't judge anyone, please. You know? Oh, okay, I would also like to say one other thing. Getting plastic surgery, getting a boob job, getting a butt job, getting your lips done, getting anything done. You can be completely done up. You can still be body positive. You can still be body positive. Just because a woman has her breasts done doesn't make her any less body positive than someone who has natural breasts, okay? Like, body autonomy. Body positivity is all about body autonomy. It's about making sure you remember that anyone can do whatever they want with their bodies. A woman deciding to get a boob job is actually super feminist, you know? Like, as long as she's doing it for herself, to make herself feel confident and beautiful and sexy, like, that's fine. Like, that's totally fine. I'm gonna go. I love you guys. I'm gonna go eat some lunch now. But I just want to say that let's not give in to judgment and stuff. Like, let's just fucking do whatever we wish and just accept others doing whatever they wish. If a woman decides to wear a whole face of makeup, she's still body positive, you know? As long as she is in the mindset that everyone is able to do whatever they want. A woman that goes out in sweats and no makeup is body positive, okay? Anyway, I love you guys. I really love you guys. This was a little bit of a rant today, but I was just feeling confused, you know, confused and anxious about what was happening online. And I don't want to see that happening. Like, we are working hard towards body positivity, but like, let's just not forget what that means. Let's not forget what it means to be body positive. I think what's been really making me think about this as well is just like the whole Anna Paul situation, which has been very, very strange. I follow her, but I never really like looked at her stuff that much, but I definitely know who she is, and like she's popped up on my For You page like a lot. But I just think that was like kind of eye-opening to me as well, like that someone could use the facade of being a body positive person, but like not actually be body positive, you know? I don't know. Like, I think that like sort of confused me a bit, that whole scenario where it's like she's trying to get views from being body positive, but she actually isn't. I don't know. It's like a weird flex, I guess, is my thing. To be like, I'm body positive, but like actually judging everyone for what they look like. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I love you guys. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. But I love you guys, and I hope you come back, and I'll see you next time. Okay, love you. Bye.